According to Cornell University, over 80 federally recognized tribes across the U.S. have gone through disenrollment. And in the past 2 decades, some estimate at least 11,000 individuals have been exiled from their tribes, including the Nooksack in Whatcom County, which in March kicked out its last disenrolled member from its land, 306 people in total. Jamie Queen, who was also disenrolled from the Squaxin tribe, worries most about vulnerable tribal members.
Elders are getting cut off their income checks. They're getting cut off the treaty rights. Some people lived off of that for their entire life. They no longer have that. So they're losing their housing, their medical, their income, their whole source of identity, because now they have to reinvent themselves and figure out who they are. If they told me today, you are now re-enrolled, I'm going to tell them to shove it up their ass.
The GOV is trying to say that birthright citizenships of Native Americans isn't a real thing. That we were not here, and so it's not all right just to be a citizen of America because, pause, now I'm hearing because we actually came from Siberia and we weren't always here. So that's what I'm getting at. Is that there's a lot of different places I've heard in right now up north, people's reservations are getting split in half and some are being sent to Canada. How is that possible? I don't really know. Also, I'm from Oklahoma. My tribe's here, you know. If they give me the option of deporting me and tell me, you know, you pick where you want to go, I'll just do that because this is all I've ever known. This is all my family's ever known. This is where we're from. So, I'm just giving the backstory of what that was about. The Siberia thing, I don't know. I'm just reading comments, and this is what everyone's saying is, we weren't from here. We're not the first ones here. Okay, I wasn't here years and years and years ago, so I can't really tell you, but from, I don't know, just history in itself, I don't know where the hell we're all going to go. There's reservations all over this country. There's a lot of Native Americans everywhere. So if you're going to kick us all out, I don't know. And then I heard someone saying, well, don't go to Europe if you get deported, don't go to Europe or something, because I don't even care to go to Europe. Shit, I'd go to I don't know. Somewhere fun. But anyways, that's what the backstory is on all of this. I don't really have a firm understanding of whatever it is. I don't even like politics. They just cracked me up because they said I was going to get deported to Siberia. And that's hysterical to me. But so be it. I mean, turn up in Siberia, I guess. You know, all my natives are just going to meet me there. We're going to have a big old party in 49, you know? That's probably what we're going to do. But anyways, I hope that helps on some of the comments and confusion, because I'm just as confused. Shit, I don't know.
Peace, family. I just want to share with y'all this video of a judge explaining that identifying as black means dead at law, civilita mortis. I was explaining that when you identify as black, you're erasing your indigenous identity. There's no landmass called black. Listen to this judge.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the United States of America, Canada, and the rest of the world, there is a conspiracy. And that conspiracy, ladies and gentlemen, is this word called black. The word black quite literally means no standing in law, and it also makes reference to dead people. So when you use the word like black nigger, or when you use the word black in any context or agreement with people, what you are basically saying is that they are dead.
I see a lot of videos now where judges are crying, talking about they're being sued by indigenous people. You should be sued by indigenous people. I don't get you white motherfuckers. Y'all like to come on here, do fucked up shit, and then try to play the victim, right? So y'all came on our land, illegally changed our titles or our nationality from indigenous to blacks, Negroes, and colored. Legally changed our titles or our nationality from indigenous to blacks, Negroes, and coloreds. And now y'all mad because we suing y'all. The United States is a federal corporation from Great Britain. Look up 28 USC 3002. So what gives the United States jurisdiction to make laws for you to live by? The Supreme Court ruled in People versus California, no corporation can make laws for you to live by. Y'all came here, committed all this fraud. Now, if you go on the indigenous censors, like the 1830s, and chase your grandparents back and pull up obituaries and stuff, and birth certificate, you will see your grandparents is indigenous. And they know that. What they mad about is they can't govern us. They know they're not supposed to govern us. The Indigenous Act of 1924 clearly stated that indigenous people are not subject to license, registration, and plates when traveling on their land. So where these motherfuckers get that we need a license to drive on our own land? We are the indigenous ones. And you violated our peace treaty rights, you violated our constitution under the Magna Carta, and you violated all our laws. You should be sued under misclassification, defamation of character, and violations of indigenous rights. And it doesn't matter if these judges are black or not. You sue them. So what are you? You're not black. You're not Negro. You're not African American. The planet that Africans or so-called Africans live on is not even called Africa. You don't never hear those people over there call themselves Africans. It's a new day, man. Like I say, keep the pressure on these fucking fake-ass judges. Sue these motherfuckers because they committed fraud, and they are part of this fraud Ponzi scheme. Everything they're doing here is fraud. The whole system is fraud. The whole Jew system is fraud because they changed your identity. Had they not changed your identity, they couldn't govern you, and the United States is supposed to be paying you to be here. They got you buying your own land back. Huh? Buying your own motherfucking land back and paying bills on your land because they committed fraud against you and illegally changed your fucking identity. Jay, here we go, man. Y'all know what time it is, right? You see the logo? You see the logo? Okay, so I was waiting to do this job, and I was strolling through TikTok, going through a lot of people live and shit like that. And a lot of these people that do these lives is dumb as fuck. They're dumb as fuck. Like this one dude was trying to explain to people, especially the indigenous people, how we are under United States jurisdiction. Let me ask you this one question. If we are under United States jurisdiction, why are they trying so hard to hide our identity or to not recognize us as the indigenous people? Because they know we own the land and we have the right to tell them to leave. Keep pushing them pins. We are the indigenous people. I found the most important case law where the court got together, all the courts, and told them do not recognize the black people as indigenous people. That's why when y'all go to these courthouses, they're trying to deny your indigenous, because if you're indigenous, you are sovereignty. That means that they can't make you pay for anything on this land. You got to get these documents one is called UNDRIP and one is called Public Law 90-284. But I'm going to post a video from my homeboy Gaddy, and he's going to show you the court tell them do not recognize the black people as indigenous people. This is misclassification. This is fraud. This is defamation of character. So when these judges call you anything other than indigenous, you need to sue these court for defamation of character. Now, I see all these judges crying how they got liens on their property. Huh? I see judges now, it was on the news. When it makes the news, you know it's a motherfucking problem. These judges are I'm being sued for doing my job. Your job is to get the fuck out of here, right? Because we are the indigenous people. You're not being sued for doing your job. You're being sued for fraud upon the real indigenous people. Tell the goddamn truth for once, white man. Tell the goddamn truth. Y'all came over here with this fake bullshit. Never thought that we would wake up. It's there to fuck you over. Y'all got to get rid of them voters cards. Y'all got to stay out these voting polls. You cannot go up in here and talk about you a fucking indigenous person with a fucking United States voters card. You got to make your motherfucking mind up. It's either one or the other, bruh. 2025, we got to keep the pressure on these motherfuckers. We are the real indigenous people of this land. We own the land. Because we are walking on our own land. Stop letting these people tell y'all all that other bullshit. We here. Stay focused. We're going to continue to sue these judges.
Cherokee, Kickapoo, Coshati, Shawnee, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Creek, Seminoles, Delaware Indians, Caddo, Apache, Puri Indians, Utahs, Sioux, Sage, Seneca tribe, Muskogee, Comanches. These are just a few of the tribes of American Indians that I have came across as I do research and go through the archives and articles of the 1800s. And I will propose the question every time because there were thousands upon thousands of individuals a part of all of these tribes, and those are just to name a few. What happened in the 1800s to all the American Indians, and how did they become Native Americans? Same question I propose to ask because that's not that far back. And if I have documentations of my elders owning land and having multiple businesses in the 1800s in this country, I think the smartest thing we could do is ask ourselves and really see people for who they were. The colonizers were over here still fighting the original people of the land. Do y'all really think that they were bringing millions of heavy motherfucking hitters over here that could have fought easily with the Indians and took all of this out? They didn't have the manpower. They didn't have the manpower to be getting millions of us, thousands of us, however y'all want to see it, because we're millions today, getting all of us to come over here while they're still trying to fight and deal with the wild Indian issue that they had. And all of these tribes were talked about in the 1800s. Which means that at some point in the 1800s, a major genocide happened. Do I think that a major genocide happened? Yes, but not on the scales of wipeout like this. We never went anywhere. We were always here fighting. And they know that. They told the stories and the history the way in which made us docile, lost, confused. Imagine for generations your people being told, oh, they just don't know who they are. They just lost people. Y'all knew what the fuck y'all was saying. Because the truth was, we lost our identity of knowing that this was our shit. Like y'all somewhere or one of these generations broke them down. And moving forward, every generation after was taught lies. Even though some people still come to me and be like, no, my grandparents told me. Like I knew this entire time. And shout out to those people who grandparents and elders kept the shit alive. Because I just always heard hints of Indian. Like, it was just always hints of things. Even down to us being in school and they telling us to sit Indian style. Like, imagine all your life being told, y'all don't know who y'all are, only to go back and dig into your family's history. And dig into the generations of your family, generation after generation after generation after generation, and see that they clearly lied. They clearly lied, and it was that easy for us to figure out. It makes you wonder, what the fuck did they do to put us to sleep like that? What happened during the 1600s when these motherfuckers really got over here and they put the people to sleep? Doing my own genealogy and, just my own research really brought me to seeing what they did to the men and where the men were and how the women, were still at home and trying to keep the families together. And those that did come back from wars and fighting, they were never quite right. Like, the breakdown of our people took years, took generations. It took time. These motherfuckers ain't hiding out right now for nothing. They absolutely knew that this spell was about to be over. They absolutely knew that eventually we was gonna wake the fuck up and understand that it took nothing to go back, to look back. Because not only is this shit running in our DNA, it took nothing for real for us to just go back. I don't know why our eyes was closed. I don't know why we didn't want to look at it. We didn't have the enough sense to just go back. Now motherfuckers trying to tell us shit, and you can't tell nobody nothing when they done did the work themselves, and they done went back in their own shit, their own family, and seen that it was a lie. There is no way that the story that has been told to us can be real. And then look at us today. Look at our spirits. Like, you really think that they did what they said they did? No, they told a story to make us docile, to make us spiritually feel less than. Not only that, they gave us religion. They gave us churches where the pastors then started to preach you from you. Started to tell you to speak things less of yourself because you were not good enough to be in God's grace, but he was going to love you enough because you were trying. They made you denounce yourself. They took you from you.